Hey everybody, welcome to this live Q&A time with the band Red. Guys, so pumped that you made some time for us. I know you're here in the city on your tour, which we're excited about tonight here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but thanks for being here. Been taking some questions from your fans all around the world, and you know, your fan base absolutely loves you, and they're really excited about this tour you're on currently with POD. The question that they're having about the Acoustic Experience. You're a rock band. Tell us a little bit about this Acoustic Experience, what you've been doing so far with this.
Something we decided to do a couple of years ago was like, how do we connect with our fans more? And I think that this is kind of one of the things we do too. You know, we reach out to our fans a lot, and we're like, how do we get a little bit more intimate with our fans rather than just kind of looking at them in the front row? And we're like, let's invite a couple people on the bus and play them a song. And we're just like, imagine if when we were kids we had the opportunity to get on one of the tour buses of our favorite bands and them sing to us. So we're just like, we tried it once and it went off without a hitch.
What's it like? Come on, I remember we were together last year, and you said, "Man, we got to meet Michael Tate on the Winter Jam tour," and you were kind of like kids meeting them.
Yeah, we were.
What's it like when your fans come on that bus and get a chance to sit and be with you like that?
Sometimes it's awkward.
Yeah,
it's very awkward.
Because we're on this side of it now, so it's like we don't understand why they're being awkward.
Well, they get on the bus and they're quiet and they don't know what to say or do, and they don't like. There's seats everywhere, but everybody kind of just stands in the middle of the bus.
They come in and they
they're
won't
afraid
sit
of
down.
you guys.
Hey, you guys can sit down. It's okay. Sit down.
And we don't make it easy on them. We just kind of stare at them like, what are you doing here? Kind of thing. Sometimes, just to break the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
Just last week, we turned all the lights off in the bus, and it was pitch black, and we all held up our phones to our faces like it was a horror movie, just to get a reaction out of somebody. And they all came on. They were just like.
So the bus starts up and it starts leaving with them on.
Yeah. We're going for a ride.
A little scary.
My favorite story though is when somebody came on and it was the first person. He was kind of like in a black trench coat.
Oh yeah.
And he walks up to Anthony and he goes, "Oh, now I'm on your bus. Now I can do this."
And he reaches out like this.
It's like a
touches
long finger to his shoulder, and he's like, "Don't ever do that."
I did. I think I might have scared him. Like, dude, don't ever do that again. I said, don't be that guy. Don't get on a bus with complete strangers-ish and touch them just because it's like we're animals at a zoo or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird, but. Yeah.
Well, I have loved the times we've been together. I know you do love your fans, and I know you love the fact that you can be candid about where you've been. You guys grew up normal kids with normal stories, and we've got episodes that we've done you can check out on remedylive with these guys. But maybe talk about a little bit about why you love being real with your fans, because we've had a lot of bands in here, and it's hard to get them to be real. You guys are the exact opposite. Been real since day one.
Because there's just so much out there that's not real, And it's like you watch TV nowadays, and what you see is, a lot of people think is what you see is what you get. It's like that's the real thing, and it's just not. You know what I mean? And there's just no reason to not be real with people. You're not gonna learn anything from being, deceiving to anybody. And I think that they see our hearts and know that we're just a typical group of guys that are that love making music and love God, and they're gonna I think if people are really diving in and really want to know and they're curious about a band, they're gonna see right through all that. They're gonna see right through all the fakeness and all this stuff. So if why do it from the start? Just be real with people, and they're gonna appreciate that more, and they're gonna connect with you more, and then ultimately the family will grow. And
I can kind of see how hard it would be for like a Christian band to be real on this set, because there is kind of like this persona that you have to have in the Christian industry. So sometimes you have to put on that face, and and we're trying to do the exact opposite, is actually show who we are as true individuals, and to kind of reach out to the crowd out there to let them know that you're not alone. We're going through the same issues as you are.
Yeah. It seems, and I want to talk about your new album here right away, so start thinking about all that that's coming up. But it seems to me like this generation, the majority of them are struggling with something, and the fake facade is not their love language. What are you hearing? What's one of the biggest themes you're hearing from your fans, whether it be on your site, in the forums, all that stuff? What are you hearing from them?
People just don't know who they can trust nowadays. Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest things in a relationship that you form with somebody. If you don't have that trust, they're not going to open up to you in the first place. And that's one of the things one of the attributes that we really focus on when we go on a tour with another band or something. We want to build that friendship first, and once we have that friendship and have the trust, then that opens up new experiences and conversations that you would have had otherwise. And that's why I think that our fans deserve you know, us 100%, because we're not here to tell lies. We're not here to be fake. We're not here. Our fans deserve to see, you know, who we genuinely are, so that they're not surprised when they meet us in person. And
Yeah. Well, is it trust thing because of they felt abandoned? Like, is this like mom and dad splitting up, or?
I think for the first time ever, a lot of kids are scared. And they're scared because they see fear in their parents' eyes about the way things are nowadays with, you know, how the world is, you know, the economy, everything is just kind of upside down right now, more so than ever it ever has been. And, you know, we see it every day. We're out there with thousands of kids and see just, you know, just kind of this dull, like doe-eyed look, you know, just like, you know, where do I fit into all this? And where, you know, my parents are, you know, they're really struggling and they're scared and they're nervous about, you know, what's going to happen and, you know, ultimately how our families are going to end up. And, you know, seeing that's difficult for us because, you know, we're
going through it.
We're trying to feed them. We're trying to feed them with inspiration, and it just becomes more of a responsibility on our part to do that. And you know, it's you know, when we were kids, you know, mom and dad were, you know, they were Superman and Superwoman. You know, they were, you know, and to nowadays, like kids are freaked out. They're scared, and that's not a good place to be, especially, you know, because you're so vulnerable when you're growing up. You know, like, you know, we wrote this new record about finding your identity, and these kids are just struggling every day to figure out where they fit in, and you know, because if they don't have a, you know, that core structure at home, and mom and dad are racing around to pay the bills, and they're never home because they're working 2 or 3 jobs and stuff, it gets really difficult. You can just imagine. So it's
Sure.
You know.
Well, your music has an anthem of you know, knowing as we talked to someone here in the chat who's going to have a question for you in a bit. You know, the song "Not Alone" as an example says, you know what, we're here with you. You aren't alone.
Yeah.
And I love that. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about your next album and the process. You know, the fans probably don't know all the work that goes into it. Maybe they assume that you just go into a studio with a bunch of great ideas and make it happen. Kind of walk us through what an average song, and maybe there isn't an average song, how long it takes to actually put it to CD, to track.
It's always been a labor of love with this band.
We like to think every idea is a good idea, but they're not. Our writing process and recording process starts the day we hand in. Like when we turned in record 3, we started working on the next record, just because I think the music deserves that. You know, like we don't, you know, our second record, or our third record cycle kind of snuck up on us, and you know, we were in the middle of a heavy touring schedule, so it was difficult for us to kind of navigate through getting the songs prepared for the record and stuff. But Red, we invested a lot of time and effort into making all the things that we need access to make, you know, great music on the road. You know, we just started doing that a lot, and we've been writing for this new record since September, October last year. So it's, you know, we're heavy into it, and we got to, you know, probably start tracking here at the end of the summer and turn it in, and then we'll release it February, March of 2013. So
The most difficult thing about writing songs is writing songs that connect with somebody on an emotional level. To meet somebody where they are is one of the most difficult things to do, I think, that we'll ever do as a band.
I'm going to stop you there. Don't punch me, Randy. But you know, there's an entertainment value that most musicians want. You know, it's that uppity tune that's going to make them some money. But you're saying one of the core values is a song that's going to connect with them emotionally. Tell us more about why that's important to you guys as a band.
Well, I would say it's important based off of how, when we were growing up, you know, that there wasn't really anything about church or going to church or you know, youth group that was that exciting. And but I know when we got in the church vans and we headed off to these festivals and stuff that we're now playing at, and that was all we ever looked forward to, was going to see these bands and these speakers play. And it seems like anytime you know, somebody that people are familiar with gets a microphone in front of their face, everybody's all ears. And I just remember knowing that I was going to get something out of the music. I knew it. I was all ears. I was watching every move they made, and you know, as a kid, I made the mistake of thinking that, you know, these individuals and these bands and stuff were perfect and didn't make mistakes. And you move to Nashville and you find out otherwise, and you're a little culture shocked at first, but then you progress as an adult and you realize that it's not a perfect world and that we live in, and nobody's perfect, and you know, you just move on with things after you realize that. But I think it's important because, you know, that someday down the line, the kids are going to become adults, and they're going to remember that connection that they made, and that's, you know, it's going to help to shape who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get a little light here. We're in the middle of March Madness, the NCAA AA tourney. You know, Last night we watched our own IU get knocked out, so there's lots of mourning in our fine state. Who are you cheering for?
Morning.
We've had
It's funny,
we've
man.
had a tough month.
We're all college guys. We all went to school. Randy and I graduated from Penn State. Mike went to West Virginia, and we were big into sports, big time into sports.
Let's just be frank.
We still are, but
Can we do that, Clinton?
Yeah, I love Frank.
We don't get into NCAA.
we don't like college basketball.
It's all about
If you're not tackling each other, you're
It's
not
all about the
interested.
NFL.
It is. It's
all
all
about the
football.
Well, then
for
let's
us.
go there.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning
I
recently
couldn't even. I
signed.
couldn't even tell you who's in the Final Four. I couldn't even tell you.
Unbelievable. This
I don't
just
even
in,
care.
folks.
I don't
This
even
just
care.
in.
Probably Duke. Probably I don't know.
No.
The usuals.
No,
Well,
so
there
far
you
we're
go.
not- We're not doing too well.
I
It's
don't
all right.
care.
But you guys are huge football fans.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, and again, Peyton just signed. We this is big news in our state. I think you're San Francisco.
In your state? Just your state?
Well, no, in our state. Well, in our state, we're terrified now. We don't know what the future looks like. I know you're a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
He's talking about going there. Now he's a Bronco. What do you guys think about that?
He likes horses, man. I know that.
He does.
See this, the
One
Colts
horse
or
to the
Broncos.
other.
I don't know. I think he likes John Elway better though.
Yeah. I think John Elway has a
That
man
was a
crush.
I think that was a big part of why he went to the Broncos.
Yeah, I was frustrated because Peyton's a Tennessee guy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
our that's where we're from, Nashville, and our hometown was just freaking out that he came and met with the Titans and went to the facility. Was
Yeah.
there for 6-7 hours meeting with them. We thought we had a pretty good shot of bringing him to our state and putting him. in
Not
our
gonna
We
happen.
had 2 days off while that whole
Drama.
press conference, everything
Yeah.
all happened, and we were glued to the
Yeah,
TV.
just
Me and my guitar tech Brandon, we're we're huge in the NFL, and we were just on the couch, just locked, and we're watching history right now. Like
Literally.
Peyton Manning is literally one of the most amazing football players ever to
Yeah.
set foot on the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really didn't really care where he ended up. Back to the Niners. They had an incredible season last year, and I felt that even without Peyton, I think it's going to be another great
Good year.
year because Jim Harbaugh came in and had a very small offseason to get them ready for the season, and they ended up making.
see, he
NFC
brags about
championship
that, but
game.
Tennessee had the same thing. We had a little season. We did good.
Except you were
We won
sitting at
9
home.
games.
Except they were sitting at home during the
We're
playoffs.
going to see a fight break out between the brothers here. We have a lot of great questions, but I have to ask Tebow in New York. Thoughts about that?
We've
jokes
we've
about that
gotten
have
into
been
the
unbelievable.
like just kind of been on the radar with all the jokes that people throw at Tebow.
Yeah.
Rex
for-
Ryan has the worst mouth in the NFL.
Yeah.
He has the biggest potty mouth I've ever seen of any coach in the history of coaches. And of course, Tebow, he's a straight-laced guy. I saw this Twitter feed that said Tim Tebow had his first conference call with Rex Ryan, and he was horrified.
But
don't
all
know.
the jokes that people make about he chose the Jets because jumping on a Jet's the quickest way to Jesus, that kind of stuff. I mean, just all the different stuff people tease him about. But man,
Sure.
we in a lot of ways we admire him,
Yeah,
Andy, because
he's the man.
he's been
I just love that he just goes out and does it and doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Sure.
And
He's
I
been
think he's going to do
unwavering.
great wherever he goes. I feel like that guy just, he's gonna excel no matter in any situation because he doesn't rely on his own.
Well, you talk about identity.
his own
He knows
strength.
who he is. And
Yeah.
between him and Linsanity, New York is going to be a different city, I think, this next year. Well, let's jump back into some questions.
Maybe Rex Ryan will chill out a little bit.
Who knows?
Maybe the
Who knows?
influence will.
Maybe Rex will be.
Maybe Rex will start a Christian band.
Yeah, right there you go. A lot of fans of POD watching the stream. What's it like to tour with these guys, with Sonny and the guys?
We toured with them last summer on the Rock Allegiance tour, and we're heading out on a run in May. It's us and POD and Brian Head Welch and Icon for Hire. The guys, awesome guys. We were huge POD fans in college. Satellite was a really amazing record. And that was back when MTV was still MTV, and you
Yeah.
saw their videos and stuff. So when we got to meet them for the first time, it was the second day of the tour. But
Please play this. Please play this.
yeah, we were asking them like, "Could you play this and this?" And
Yeah, now we're
We're
back
like,
in the
we
bus
hate
again.
that song. We're just like, you hate that song? Like, Rock the Party was one of my favorite songs, favorite videos those guys ever put out. And
we were standing
They
side
just
stage every
wouldn't
night
play
watching. Yeah. They're cool guys, great band. We're really looking forward to it. And
Very cool. We've got someone who's up in Maine who is wondering if you're coming up the Northeast.
we don't
Michael
make it up
says
there.
no.
We don't make it up there very
Yeah,
often.
we've played every state in the
We never
United
go to
States
Maine, we
except
never go
Hawaii.
to Florida, we never go to Seattle.
Do you guys ever go to Canada?
We've been to Canada,
Ish.
yeah.
Ish.
We're on Canada on this tour, it feels like.
I think Maine is like the least.
Yeah. We've been there
Unfortunately,
once,
yeah.
maybe twice.
Probably once.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. What's it like to tour with Nine Lashes? This is a band that's with you guys right now. You'll be on stage with them tonight. Is that like?
I feel like we're kind of daddies and mentors to it. They're a very
You
young
are.
band. and
Absolutely.
we see a lot of the things, as being a young band, and it's their first tour ever, and I think that they've been thrown into the fire in a lot of ways with the whole touring experience, and I think that our goal as a band is any band that we take out and host, on a tour, is that they leave having, honed in on their craft and become a better band and just a better ministry and just overall just their tour etiquette, a lot of things. I mean, on the road, when you're a band, on a tour, there's things, there's just the motions you go through, and we our hope is that they've learned something from us just by watching us, and I think they have. They've come around. They were very skittish and timid at the very beginning, and I think that this is the last show of the tour, so hopefully we can push them out of our nest and they can jump into
What a
their
great
bus and-
springboard with you guys.
Yeah.
To talk about flip side, as you guys were coming up, which bands would you want to do a shout out to that helped do that same thing for you?
I think
first
Seven
two-
Dust
yeah.
was our first one.
Our very
that?
first.
Me and Seven Dust.
Before that was we went out with Spoken.
Okay.
For a 2-month tour. It was our very first tour ever, and like all the mistakes that he's talking about, the Lashes guys making, we made too, and we that was nowhere near the scale of the tour that we're on now or have been on since then. So we had a gentle learning process, but those guys were great mentors to us.
It
and
wasn't
gave us
so
a lot
gentle
of
with
advice.
the-
I remember when we were on 3 Days
Yeah,
Grace
it
tour,
wasn't-
that was pretty.
That was
It wasn't too gentle of a process in the mainstream
No.
world.
Yeah.
It was play your show, get out of the way, and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing. And we were just like, okay.
There was a couple times when we got pulled over from the tour manager from 3 Days Grace, and he told us like how it was.
We got 9 lashings.
We were like,
We did.
Yeah, I can imagine, and that's
was-
again why I think you guys are so deserving of the honor that we in the industry, because you paid your dues. You haven't played it safe. Warped Tour, right? Have you done Warped Tour?
No, we never
don't
have
think
done Warped Tour. No.
Well,
We toured with Warped Tour bands before, but never played Warped Tour.
Okay,
No.
but it's awesome to know that you guys have been there and you can see yourself out there with bands and having a ministry to them.
Yeah,
So
totally.
at Remedy, we just absolutely love that. Funny question. You're on the bus. No doubt you're watching some flicks, some movies. We talked a little bit about some movies before we went to air here. What are you guys watching on the bus?
2012 all the way. No.
2012 every day.
We watched the brides. What is it? The Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
I've
The other
been,
day,
I've
that was
been,
hilarious.
I've been thinking of watching that.
It was hilarious. I thought it was a chick
I
flick.
didn't know what to expect.
It's probably
yeah.
not a movie
We
for
thought it was gonna
all
be
of our
chick flick,
fans,
but it
but
was-
if you're,
It was funny.
if you're a grown up and you can handle it, it's
I woke
pretty
up this
funny.
morning and The Right was on TV. That's that Exorcist movie. It was like
Fantastic.
something you want to wake up and have a coffee.
That's
to.
right.
Yeah.
Is that why Joe's not here now?
Those movies are kind of cool for us, man. Honestly, it's like call it cliche or whatever, but just to kind of see like,
The battle between.
good and evil,
Yeah.
and the whole thing is pretty cool.
I think it was
got
like
a
3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to go to the bathroom, opened the door, and they're watching Devil.
Oh, that's
The
a good
movie
movie.
Devil.
Devil,
Like,
where
yeah,
they're in the,
yeah.
they're at the last scene.
Yeah.
Where they find out it's the old lady.
Don't
And
tell,
I-
dude.
Gave it all away.
Just
Sorry,
in
man.
again.
Sorry.
I
Here's
walk
Flash.
out, I open the door, and I just stand there because I'm just like half
We get
asleep.
into that stuff
And
because
everybody's looking at me like, they're freaked out at me.
we get into
Yeah.
that stuff. It's cool.
Thought I was
'cause-
possessed or something.
Well, let's. One of your fans had a real tough time. Lost their dad about 3 weeks ago. Lost her mom 13 years ago. Loves the song "Not Alone." What songs have gotten you through some tough times in your life? That you've named some bands, but maybe there's some songs that we wouldn't think a rock band would be necessarily affected by.
Yeah. I mean, we've had many conversations with you, Clinton, and we've, I think several times, told you about the bands that we, growing up that we were into, and I think that, man, we could think of 100 songs that were just so inspiring to us. I think "In the Light's" one of my favorite songs. Growing up was just, I want to be in the light, I want to shine. I
Is that
want
the
to.
Peacock version? back in the day?
Yeah. Yep. And there's that one, and man, I mean.
Growing up, I was a big Michael W. Smith fan. I listened to.
And
all-
not ashamed to say it.
Nope. All his records were always made me
Did you
feel
ever hang
good.
with Mike Smitty down there?
We've hung a few times.
Yep.
Yeah.
You played it as is he still on Rocket?
It's always
Town?
on a bigger.
We just
It's
did
always on
Rocket
a
Town
bigger scale.
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that.
We
Very
were
cool.
at the U2 show with them in Nashville at at Vanderbilt. It's always like either you never see him unless it's an award show or something big's happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I go up to him and he goes, "Yeah, my name is Michael W. Smith," and I'm like, I know. You don't have to tell me. It's your and that's how he introduces himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird. My name's Michael W. Barnes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's great. You guys were on Winter Jam last year, and I'm just going to say it because I can say it. You guys don't have to. I was just blown away that you were like kind of an opener, you know, for a band that was doing so well on iTunes, ridiculously well on late night television. You know, I was a big fan, except for the one time where Mike stood beside Conan. I felt like, Mike, come on, don't stand beside Conan.
We'll
Don't
make
ever
sure
do
if
that
that happens again,
Yeah,
we'll make sure that.
sure.
We'll get you some
But
platforms.
what's can we talk about Winter Jam coming up this next year?
Yeah, yeah.
Are we going to see Red again?
Yep, they've
Maybe.
invited us to come back, and
Maybe.
we're looking forward to
We
it.
can't say yes
Maybe.
for sure.
We can't confirm that we're on the tour.
For sure.
For sure.
But
Why can't we?
can we write our congressman?
Yeah, do something. Well, we got added dead last on the run last year. Whether we were an opener or not, I don't know. But I know that because we were added last, there was really no slot for us to be in other than that one. And we were happy to do it. It was a tour that we'd been trying to get on for a couple of years. And
We kicked it off. It was
I
fun
think
every night.
the folks were a little unsure about us at first, you know, having watched our videos and things like that. It being more of a CHR soccer mom type decor, so.
Yeah.
But we got on there and you know, we thrived. It was great. We had, in love with the people that run that tour and the bands. It's just a great sense of community on that tour each and every day. Everybody's rooting for each other, and just I think that point in our career, we'd done about 95% of our touring was mainstream, and I felt like as a band we needed that tour to have some sort of spiritual refreshment because. We hadn't been on anything like that ever in our career. We went straight into the mainstream, and you know, we just each and every day you were being fed by you just being loved on somebody. We had jam church, or you know, just sharing conversation with people that you know have been doing Christian market stuff and just our friends in other bands and stuff. It was great, man. We all left that tour feeling refreshed, and we're looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I know we're all hopeful that you'll be on that tour, so we're excited about that.
Yeah,
But I was gonna
hopefully
ask you-
we'll be there.
Yeah, I was going to talk.
Can't confirm.
Can't confirm.
I don't know why he keeps saying that.
Well, we will try and confirm that at some time soon. But with Jam Church and all that goes on, I don't think the average fan that attends that tour realizes all the neat things that go on,
Yeah.
ministry to the bands.
Yeah.
Imagine sitting 5 feet away from the David Crowder band and them leading worship.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
In a back room.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, very cool.
Yep.
Love it. Mike, the voice, and we're not going to be concerned. We haven't all, you know, we get our money back for the tickets tonight. Don't do that. Go on the show. But it's a good question. It came in actually before. How do your voices feel after you guys do a show? Because you guys aren't just peeping and popping. You guys are letting it go.
We try to break them up every week, but we're in the middle of a 5-show run. Like we've
Well,
done
it's 9
5
shows
in
in
a
10
row.
days.
9 shows in 10 days. We've had one
That's
day
tough.
off.
Wow.
This is the last day, so my voice sounds kind of rough.
He's gonna push
But
it tonight.
it's all right. I mean, the last day, I gave him all. I'm gonna give it all of it. and
Yeah.
I probably have no voice by the end of tonight, so it's no big deal.
When you get home, do your kids ever say, "Daddy, what happened to your voice"?
No, they go like this.
It's they've learned to do sign
Kids
language.
don't talk to me yet.
Great. People are asking about Oklahoma City anytime soon. They think.
We were just there.
Yeah, we were just there.
I guess they want you back.
We were just there.
Guess they want you.
Oh, that's
back.
our favorite thing. We'll get on there. Hey, when are you coming to?
When are you
when
coming to Fort Wayne?
Dallas? We were there yesterday.
When are you coming to Fort Wayne?
Yeah, exactly. We talked about this before we went there as well. The Whosoevers. Maybe talk a little bit about this. You know, we got a lid here.
Yeah.
What is this movement? And we've had Brian Welch before on some of our on the Backstage Pass. So talk a little bit about this movement.
These guys are just amazing dudes that started it. It started by Sonny from POD and Brian Head Welch and a friend of theirs, Ryan and Lacey from Flyleaf. And it's just a movement that, you know, that's not against organized Christianity, but they don't like using the term Christians.
They're just
because it's
simplifying
just they're just simplifying the formula of what's the fastest way to Christ. And, you know, aside from organized religion and all these labels and everything that everybody are putting on everything, they just want to show people the love of Christ.
And the target audience wouldn't be the Christian kid,
Right.
Christian person. I would say.
But you know, of course, they're always, you know, we all need ministered to, no matter you know who we are. But yeah, they're out there and they're looking for people just like we are that are searching, that are on the fence, and
Yeah, I love it. I love it how they just cut through all that red tape and get rid of all the legalism, and they're
Yep.
just like, you know, It's whoever believes.
I'm just going to straight come in and love on you,
Yep.
and I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to make you feel comfortable.
It's that
and
sign you see in a football game in John 3:16. It's whosoever believes will be saved, and that is the simplest form of being a believer, and that's what they're getting down to, and it's awesome because from the very start, that's been our goal, is just to inspire and possibly show Jesus to people that wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to see that kind of love, and
so when Brian
these guys are doing it, man, and it's
when
a
Brian
cool
told
thing.
us about it, we were like, we're on board. Where do we sign up? And he's like, well, here, just take a hat. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, free swag. Let's do this. It's all good.
But yeah, check them out. It's whosoevers.com is the website.
Perfect. That's great. Someone wants either Randy or Michael to answer back to the voice thing about screaming, because I guess there's a lot of kids that are wanting to start their own screamo band, hardcore band.
It's never gonna go away.
We
That's what
don't,
we need to know.
and
We
it's
need
not
to
that
know.
we don't love you people. We just don't play a lot of hardcore around here anymore. But how do you take care of yourself? Because you can really hurt yourself at the same time.
Well,
with your
don't do
voice.
9 shows in 10 days.
Okay, that's it. That's the All right, good. Good.
Yeah.
Michael is probably the most, I don't know, you take care of your voice more than any lead singer I've ever seen, and we're around a lot of lead singers. Michael doesn't talk in between shows, so it's one less person in the middle of a band argument to deal with. Mike just kind of,
I want to play this
That's
tonight.
right.
I want to play this tonight. What does Mike want to play?
yeah. We had, in the Mills tour, Trevor from TFK had to cancel 4 shows because he lost his voice, and I would say that Michael, the reason we were able to pull off these grueling tour schedules is because of how disciplined Mike is with his voice. Me, I'm not so disciplined, but I'm just the background guy, and I back up the screams and stuff like that. We each have our own technique for screaming. There's hundreds of how-tos and all that stuff out there. You just got to find one that works for you, I guess.
Sure.
But
Sure. One last question, and I've got one. I got one stored up for you guys, but here it is. They want to know what the most awesome thing you've ever received on tour from a fan. And knowing the
That's
crowd.
totally easy.
Yeah. Okay. What is
It's very easy. It just happened to us in California. We actually got a phone call from our manager and found out that there was a young boy with congenital heart problem that wanted to meet us from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I mean, if you know anything about Make-A-Wish, these kids get the opportunity to meet the president. They get to meet Michael Jordan. They get to meet anybody.
Paul
And it's-
Tuttle Senior from
Hulk Hogan,
American
Chop,
Chop.
whoever, but the opportunity to meet this little guy. He was 5 years old, and since he's been old enough to understand music or even know who we are, he's wanted to meet us.
That's
and his
so
name was
cool.
Ezekiel, and they called him Zeke. And his mom showed up. It was in Las Vegas, and his mom showed up, brought him to the show. And the Make-A-Wish Foundation, all those people were there, and they brought him to the show. And it was a bit of a tearjerker because the little guy's 5 years old. Randy's got a 5-year-old son, and just to
he's been
see
through 13 surgeries.
this kid's been through
open heart surgeries.
Wow.
just
He's had a stroke.
Showed us all the
scars. I mean, just to see what this little guy's been through already so early in life, and to all the technology and the things out there that are available now to prolong someone's life. This guy's, they've used everything. They pulled out all the stops, and he calls us the scary guys. We thought that was really funny, and we found out why. His first chance to experience our music was one of our videos, and we like to get a little intense in our videos. And it was a video for Death of Me, and we fight. There's a lot of fight scenes in that movie, and he's like, I want to see the scary guys again, the scary guys again. And he walked right up to us and gave us this little hug, and it was just an amazing thing, and it just
cool.
we pampered the guy from the very start. We brought him up on stage during Joe's drum solo, let him sit behind the drum kit and watch Joe play his drums. Like, he's a little drummer.
It's cooler than going to the Grammys.
It was by far. The most rewarding thing we've ever done. It was just a really cool thing, just to be a part of.
Okay, well, we are down to our last minute. Real quick, what do you say to the people watching? How about living their life on purpose and not by accident? Give them a challenge. 30-second challenge.
Well, you're not here by accident. You're here on purpose, and Christ knew you before you were born, and we fully believe that. So, just be comfortable with who He made you to be, and move forward in a positive direction. Don't pay attention to all the crap the world has to offer you.
Amen. Thanks, Randy. Guys, thank you. We love our friendship with you guys. We love what you do. We love all the music you make, and I know you guys do too. So thanks for taking some time to be with us in our live event. check out these guys wherever they might tour, their new album coming up. And again, if we can help you, talk to one of our soul medics in the chat. That's what we're here for. We chat, we listen, we love. Again, thanks so much for watching. You've been with us at remedylive.com.